So you say you normally take 3 to 4 kids. What happened this time?
This time it was just her. She was asking me because she goes, I was concerned about Friday because you're going to meet my mommy and all this stuff. And I said, okay, I wasn't even thinking.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Well, if you're going to take a female student to your classroom, you didn't think to let me just grab another.
And honestly, I just wanted to get her work done, and then go back to specials. I'm doing great. And like I said, that's my bad. No, she's at the farther point.
Okay.
But she's facing me, so that way, if she calls me, it's like I can look up at her without walking over because I'm doing my grades on my computer.
While she was sitting at the U-shape or kidney table, did you walk over to check on her?
And not until she said something about her wrist or her arm.
And what did she say about her arm? That
she started tearing up, and then she started complaining about her arm. I was like, you said you were fine, and she was, well, it started hurting me, it's like did you, so I walked over, and I said, and I asked her, can I touch your arm? Mm-hmm. And she said, yeah, so I kind of held her like this, one hand here and one hand here. Okay. So I looked at it, it's like, is your wrist hurting? Okay. And she goes, no, it's not my wrist. I said, so I pointed like this. Mm-hmm. I said, is your forearm hurting? She said, yeah, that's where it hurts. I said, well, did you tell your mom and dad? And she goes, yeah. And then I go, what did mom and dad say? She goes, nothing.
When you had, and was she the only one in the classroom with you at the time? Do you normally take kids in the classroom?
No, that's what I was telling them. Normally I try to get a couple of kids, and I was just, it was just.
Is that like policy, or is that common practice, or what is that? It's
probably common practice. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it is written somewhere, but if you're going to bring a student back to your classroom, you always bring at least, if there's another adult there, or if not an adult, then you're supposed to bring a couple of kids.
And why didn't you on that day?
I wasn't even thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I said, that's my bad. I'll get if I get a count statement from the school, that's fine. All I do was trying to, I knew parents were coming. I just wanted her to get this stuff done, and then that was it.
So, basically, you brought her up just to do the work, correct?
Correct, yes.
What is that thing that's on your door? It's like a black cover. What is it for?
Oh, that's for active assailants.
Do you normally have yours drawn?
It's always up.
Okay. It's always up?
Yeah. Unless we have an active assailant, then we put it down, or when the kids play with it after school. Because it's only taped.
Okay. Do you ever have yours up for like your planning period where you don't want to be bothered? So yours is always up?
Yeah.
Is there any reason why it would have been down that day?
Like I said, it's only held by tape. Masking tape.
So, if you're in the classroom with a student, and you notice it's down, would you have fixed it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You didn't notice it was down?
No. It should have been down.
Now, I'm going to clarify something. You said when you guys went down to the park, or not the park, but the basketball courts, right?
Yes.
For specials.
For specials, yes.
Went down for specials. She was stuck to you like glue. She just followed you around. Or she just stood in one spot?
She just stood there.
Okay, she stood in one spot. She stood in one spot for how long?
A couple of minutes until the coach came.
Okay. I reviewed the school video that day.
Okay.
First thing, she was in a sling. She was in a sling and she was sitting on the bench. She was sitting on the bench next to a little boy. I don't know who he is, but she was sitting on
that Wednesday?
Yes.
No.
I'm literally telling you. I'm going to tell you what I saw in the video. She was sitting on the bench with that little boy. She had a sling on her arm. She had a band around her hair, had this big ponytail. I see you come down with your class. Your class sits. You just walk around for a little bit. You then walk over directly to her. You have some type of conversation. I don't know what the conversation was about. After you have the conversation, she gets up. You guys walk up that stairwell.
The side stairwell, yes.
Walk up the side stairwell. Proceed to the second floor.
Yes.
She had a sling on.
I honestly don't remember the sling.
Okay.
I knew it was the week before, but
She had a sling on that day. She had a full sling on. Her arm was completely wrapped. Do you remember what the conversation was with her that day?
No.
Okay.
Probably mom.
Probably mom.
Probably mom.
When you guys got up to the classroom, if she had a sling on, why would her arm be out of the sling?
Because she's been taking it off the week before. I yelled at her a couple times.
So she would have taken it off.
Oh, yeah.
If she would have taken it off and put it on the table, or
I didn't, and I'm telling you the truth, I don't remember it,
Okay. You don't remember what part?
what you just told me.
Okay. You don't remember her having a sling?
Not that day,
Do you remember the accident that happened that Monday?
accident.
The accident that happened to her, that caused her to get...
Oh, no, that was during drama class.
Okay. So that was during drama class.
Yes.
That Tuesday she would have been in your class. Did you notice she had that sling on?
I honestly thought it was the week before.
Okay. Well, it is the week of possibly February 13th.
Okay.
February 13th, which would have been that Wednesday.
Okay.
You said that before specials, she stayed upstairs for a minute. You guys talked. She asked if she can come to your class. She proceeded to come down to the specials area with you.
Right.
And then she went back up.
Right.
The video never shows her coming downstairs with you. It shows you walking down with your class and she's already down there.
Not that same day.
Julio, hang on, because what I don't want to happen is for us to go down a path that we can't recover from.
Right.
Okay. So the video that my partner's talking about, I watched the same video.
Okay.
So you have two different people watching the same video.
Right.
And it shows her class downstairs already, and she's sitting on a bench, okay, talking to another student. You come down with your class, and you approach her at the bench. Now, you remember taking her to the classroom to do work, and
Right.
you remember specific details about her arm was hurting, and you went over to her, and you were like, let me see, and you were like touching her arm. It was very caring of you. And why if you remember those specific details, I don't understand why you can't remember the detail about the sling, because that would explain why her arm was hurting.
Right, when I went over there, there was nothing on her arm.
But even if she didn't have that sling on, her arm would have still been wrapped. The arm was basically...
But it was bare.
Her arm was, in this video, her arm wasn't bare.
Right, but when she came to the classroom, it was bare.
So she would have had to take that off as she walked up with you, because on video, you walk in front of her, you go around the stairs. So these are the stairs.
Right.
You know how you walk in the door?
Mm-hmm.
You got to turn around, right?
Right.
To walk up the stairs. You're in front of her. She's on your left-hand side. Her arm is completely slinged. I see her go past the video with a sling on her arm, and you continue to walk up. You walk on the right side, she walks on the left.
Okay.
She had a sling on.
Very distinct.
Right.
Now, after you made contact with her in the classroom and you're touching her arm, did you have any other contact with her that day?
That's it, because after she said that, she started tearing up, and then that's why I asked her those questions, and I said, well, after specials, if your arm still hurts, let me know. If you're in my classroom in the afternoon and it continues bothering you and you haven't done anything yet, then go let me know and I'll send you to the nurse. Then I walk back to my desk and I continue doing grades.
If I'm a student in your class and I came up to you and I told you my arm hurt, and I begin to tear up, what would you do?
Well, not at that moment before school. The nurse is not there yet, so I'd say, well, sit down.
Well, this is during specials. I'm in your classroom, my arm is hurting, I'm tearing up, what would you do?
I said, I'll give them a choice. You want to go to the nurse, and then if they say yes or no, then if it's yes, then I'll send them to the nurse.
If they say no?
Then I don't.
You don't try to make contact with the parents to let them know?
Well, the parent already knows.
That's what a student's telling you.
Correct.
But we don't know if the parent knows.
That's true.
So, I'm just trying to figure out what was your mindset that day if my arm is hurting and I'm just a student in your class and I'm tearing up and I'm just like, hey, my arm hurts.
Right.
And I'm showing you my arm hurts. And I refuse to go to the nurse. Wouldn't you make a notification to take liability off the school?
True.
But did that happen?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, can I ask what the full interaction was in the classroom while she was upstairs after you were checking her
I was good.
out?
Yeah, because then after that.
She finished her work and then she left?
Yep.
There was no other conversation that happened?
Nope.
How much time was left before specials was over?
40 specials around 45, 50 minutes.
So estimate or give me an
I
approximate.
still had about a good 45 minutes.
45 minutes left for specials?
I'm sorry, 45 minutes for total specials. So she was up there for about 15 minutes. So I was probably alone for about 30 minutes.
Okay. And what did you do while she was in the classroom?
I was at my desk doing grades.
Did you ever leave?
Bathroom.
Okay. How many times did you go to the bathroom?
Once.
Yesterday you told me twice.
But no, before I went to the bathroom, and then when she was in the room, then I went to the bathroom.
So was it once or twice?
Once in the classroom.
Okay. When she was in the classroom, what was your instructions when you went to the bathroom?
I said, just stay there, continue working. I'm going to go right to the bathroom, which is outside the classroom. And then I said, come back and then just keep on working.
Okay. At any time while in the classroom, did you say, hey, I'm going to tickle you? Did you attempt to tickle her?
Mm-mm.
Did you place your hands on her in any other way?
Nope, other than her arm.
Okay.
Because she's one of those students that would tell, if I did something like that, I know she would tell the whole world. So you're telling me if you did something to her, she would tell? Yes.
So why are we getting this allegation?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
At any point, did you touch her? Other than her arm? Ever? Have you ever tickled her?
No.
Have you ever horseplayed with her?
Not horseplay, like touching her, no.
Have you ever horseplayed, grab ass, whatever you want to call it? Have you guys ever did anything that would allude to being in a playful manner? Have you joked with her?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys...
But not like one-on-one, joking in the class.
So, okay, we're in a group setting. Yeah. Have you ever tried to tickle her in a group setting?
No.
Julio, when you're interacting with your students, a lot of students that we spoke to today, and we spoke to about 40 of them, they all say that you're an awesome teacher. You're one of their favorite teachers. They love coming to your class. They love interacting with you. They love spending time with you because you're very easy for them to get along with. Okay. A lot of other students have told us, like, you'll mess around, like, every once in a while, like, joke around with them and stuff, and sometimes you'll, like, try to lighten the mood if you see that they're sad or they're down or something like that. And one of the ways that you do that is to, like, just jab them a little bit, like in the ribs or anything like that. Well, they said that you call it like a tickle, like a tickling thing, where you're like, I'm going to get you, I'm going to tickle you.
But I've never touched anything appropriately.
Well, we're not alluding to you touching them inappropriate. We're just trying to figure out, have you ever tickled them? We literally, like she just said, we've interviewed like 40 something.
Like this.
And they're like, you'll poke them and you'll be like, hey, I'm going to get your tickle spot, and then...
Right.
But do you say that to them? Like, I'm going to get your tickle spot?
Not tickle spot, but like, oh, we're going to, I'm going to get you or something like that. But,
Soto, I got like more than 8 kids who told me that you said, hey, I'm going to get your tickle spot, and you poke them. Have you ever said, I'm going to get your tickle spot?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I may have, but I don't. But I would never, ever, if I had a Bible, I would put it right there. I would, and I'm sure you probably hear this all the time, but I would never touch a girl or boy, for that matter, in any inappropriate area.
We're not calling it inappropriate. We're just asking if you ever tickled them. So you're telling me you'll poke at them, but you don't say anything? Because that will make it awkward.
I honestly don't know.
Have you ever tickled a student?
Not tickle like a normal tickle.
Have you ever tickled a student? How would you define it?
Tickle is like tickling like this.
Okay. So how would you define it?
That's what I do.
Okay.
Just a poke?
You poke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you ever use more than one finger?
Have you used 2, 3, 4?
No, 1.
Okay.
Yeah, 1.
Have you ever reached out and, like, touched?
No.
Nothing like that? Like on the side or anything? Just been like, hey,
No. They touched me. I already have a bruise right here from one of my girls giving me a hard hug.
One of the girls gave you a hard hug?
Yeah, she's a good girl.
Have you ever been told by the school staff or anybody on school campus that you got to slow down on, like, hugging students, tickling students?
I do, and we talk, and that's why, I tell them, like, the one girl that gave me the bruise over here, well, not bruise, but, like, hugging, like, honey, you can't be doing that, and because there's that dismissal, so everybody says goodbye and everything. So a couple of kids, one of my boys, Christopher, he gives me hugs every single day. So that, and, so most of my hugs are like this. Sometimes I'll like that, or if it's a really long hug, I was like, okay, time's up. And I mean, there's always students around.
Have you ever received a complaint?
On what?
From one of the students in your class?
Not in my class, no.
Have you ever received a complaint from any student on campus?
Yeah, like I told you about 2 years ago.
And what was that complaint exactly?
The same thing, the tickling.
Okay.
The tickling?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have tickled students?
No, not her.
Not her.
So how did that happen?
How did she complain about something that didn't?
And I said, let's talk about what's going on. And he goes, something with the other teacher and everything. I said, well, you can't get upset and everything. And so then this girl, who also has needs also, and she comes over, and then so she is like, he'll do this to me. So I did it back to him, and then she says, oh, well, I want to play, and she did it to both of us. And I was like, this is a two-way conversation. This is a three-way. So then when called me in and told me what happened, she said that the parent was concerned that I was tickling her. I was like, tickling her? I said it was a conversation between me and another student, and then because the other kids were on the floor sitting waiting for us to go, and everybody's just talking, they were looking at each other and everything, and then she came over because she saw me and trying to converse, and then she comes in, and then so started smiling because I started making some jokes, and then so he goes, oh, I'm going to get you, Mr. Soto. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to get you. And then she comes over and she goes, oh, I'm going to get you, Mr. Soto, I'm going to get you. Like.
So, have you ever received any kind of counseling forms or anything from the school?
Yes, for that one.
For that? That's the only counseling form you've ever received?
That I know of.
Okay. Would you consider yourself to be like the friendly teacher?
Yes.
Would you think that some students would just think that your friendliness is a little extra, a little over?
They can, because they're only 10. They're 10, 11 years old.
Okay.
Have you ever been pulled aside by other teachers and said, hey, relax with this stuff? Never.
No.
Has another teacher...
No, we always talked about, like when the hugs, and like we talk about it, we're talking to the team, was like, yeah, we got to be careful because a third person might not, if a teacher has a relationship with a student and a third person walks by, they're going to say, well, why is this student excessively hugging or always hugging this person?
That's always difficult because I see teachers like you spend a lot of time with your kids and you get attached to them. You're like another parent to them.
Right, and as I told you, they're calling me like their school dad.
Right, so you have that kind of bond with them, but I'm talking about not necessarily in like a pod setting or like a teacher setting, like with a bunch of teachers talking. I mean like one-on-one, like another teacher's been like, hey,
no, not
relax.
Not to me, no.
Not to you ever?
No.
Okay. Have you ever interacted with a student and then had someone question you afterward?
Question me afterward?
Field
trip, yeah.
Okay. There have been complaints from multiple students who said that they've heard and seen you gesture toward other students making comments about their bodies.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever done something like that? So why would the kids tell me, different kids now,
right,
all different ages, all different areas of the school, tell me that that's not true, that they've seen and heard you make these comments?
Honestly, I don't know.
So are these kids all lying on you?
Don't know.
You don't, well, that...
I know.
Well, hold on one second. You said she was lying, but earlier you told me that if you were to ever do something, you know that she would be the one who would just go out there and tell the world.
Exactly.
So why is she telling the world?
I don't know. That's why I'm very confused and upset, and that's why I was talking to.
But she was one of the kids that said that you were one of her favorite teachers.
Mm-hmm.
She literally said that you're her favorite teacher in the whole wide world, and she had so much fun in your class.
Mm-hmm. So I tried to.
So why the lie?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I don't know why they're lying.
Right.
And I don't know why it's a whole bunch of people telling me the same story.
Mm-hmm.
The very same story. The details and the facts don't change. I've been doing this job for going on 11 years now. And when details and stories don't change, there's usually something to it. So what I want to do is I don't want you to paint yourself as this bad person, this monster.
Okay?
Hang on. I want you to paint yourself maybe as the person who may have made a mistake. If a comment was made, then it was made. We can't take back what we said.
Right.
But I want us to be honest, especially in this room, because what I'm hearing, and I was not with my partner last night when he met you for the first time. So what I'm hearing and what I'm being told, I want us to be able to represent as positively as possible what's been going on. Because there's a lot of people who are being impacted by this.
Mm-hmm. And I want you to understand this. If the stories aren't changing, but yours is, that's a clue. I need for, wait. I need for you to be honest with me. If you accidentally touched her, or if you did something in a way that, or reaching over her,
right,
glazed over her shoulders or something, just tell me.
And I have no problem with that.
Because that's not inappropriate touching.
Right, I have no problem with that. Like I told you last night, I have no problem. If I make a mistake, I'll confess up to it.
Yeah.
But if I know I truly didn't do something...
My old boss, he used to have the saying, if you mess up, fess up.
Yeah.
Did you mess up?
No.
Well,
I mean, I messed up as far as
What do you consider it that you messed up?
bringing her upstairs, allowing her to come upstairs alone.
Look back on that. Would you do it again?
No.
But I want to confirm something really quick. You said you've never taken another student up there by themselves before.
Correct.
I got several staff members saying this might be like the second or third time. Be straight with me.
No, seriously.
Have you ever?
No, she was the first time. I always brought students up, but not alone.
Have you ever had a student who stayed in the classroom alone?
No.
Let me ask you this, Julio, okay?
Yes,
Just hang out with me for just a second,
sure,
okay? What I want to make sure that we're understanding each other,
yes,
okay? Because I think that some of this can be a miscommunication, okay? But when I have, like I said, multiple kids telling me multiple different things, then I'm having trouble with what you're telling me, okay? And that's why I'm trying to avoid you going down the path that I see you going down. Okay. I don't want you, like I said before, to paint yourself as this monster. I want you to paint yourself as maybe the guy that may have made a mistake. Maybe you made a comment. Maybe, while you were reaching out and touching one of the kids, you may have, it's possible. When kids laugh, ha, 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 they wiggle around. I have kids, I get it, okay?
Right.
So what I want is just pure honesty from you, because I don't want people, and other people are going to review this, okay? I have people, my chain of command are going to review this, and what I don't want to have to do is go back to my computer and say, Julio's a monster.
Right.
Because he's not saying what his story isn't lining up with all these individual stories that are coming out, okay? But hang on, let me finish, okay? Because I want, Julio, what I want is I want for you to be honest with me. I'm being honest with you, correct? I'm being upfront with you, I'm being straightforward with you, and I don't think you're a monster at all. A monster isn't the kind of person that makes people, react the way that these students do to you. They still like you, which tells me that you may be a good guy, okay? And that's fantastic. But even good people make mistakes.
Sure.
I've made mistakes, my partner's made mistakes, people make mistakes. What I want from you, okay, is for you to I want you to let me help you.
Right.
Okay? But in order for me to help you, I need to have honesty from you.
Right. And I'm telling you everything that I remember.
But I don't think that you are. That's the problem. I think you want to tell me everything that happened, but I don't think you're telling me the whole story. I believe that you went over to her and the sling wasn't on her arm. I believe that part of your story. Because you just said that she was saying, hey, put your sling back on, what are you doing?
Right.
I get that.
But it wasn't that same day.
Okay, but how is it not feasible then that she would have removed the sling while she was in your classroom?
I honestly don't remember. That's why I'm trying to remember everything. I don't know.
Why are these other people then telling me that they've seen you touch her? Okay, because I want to go down this road with you, okay, but you're fighting me.
I'm sorry,
There's very specific recollection from independent individuals.
I'm not saying I never did it, I just don't remember.
seeing
Right.
you reach across and touch her. Touch. Why am I being told by different people?
I touched, oh my gosh.
Why is that coming up? Help me understand.
I wish I could. I don't know. I don't remember ever doing that.
I think that you do.
No, ma'am, I don't.
I don't know about that, because it's, your story that you were telling my partner from last night is varying now.
Well,
And the story that you're telling me in here is that these kids are all lying on you, even though they're your favorite teacher. I understand that parental interaction that you have, but I also want you to think about your family.
I know.
I know, and it's a scary thing, is it not?
And my daughter's the same age, well, she's in 6th grade.
Your daughter's in 6th grade.
Yes, and that's why...
So hang on. So this is a scary interaction. But I don't want it to be a scary interaction. I want it to be a positive interaction. Because if a mistake was made, then a mistake was made, and we can come and we can clear it up.
Right.
And your family can move forward, because this is a very difficult thing for a family to deal with. I'm sure that you and your wife had very in-depth conversations last night after my partner left your house instead of having to go and step backwards.
Right. But I'm telling you everything I remember to the best of my ability. If I messed up, I'll mess up. I'll tell you the truth, I'll mess up. You know, because like you just said, and we do the same thing in the military. And that's why I called my first sergeant. I told him what happened last night. I said I'm self-reporting because this is what's happening. And so I have to, let them know.
Okay, and what did you self-report?
That they came last night and I was being accused of touching one of my students inappropriately.
So why then are her grades plummeting after February 13th? We have your grade book.
Right.
And her grades, she went from an A student, high marks in your class. She was doing extremely well. And then, as strange as it is, right after this February 13th, this Wednesday, this specific date that we're focused so hard on right now, we've been talking about for the last, hour, why are her grades plummeting?
I don't know.
60s. She's doing terribly now in your class.
And that's why we had to talk with the parents, with the 504.
But the 504 talk happened on a Friday.
Correct, yes.
Long before her grades started plummeting. She got hurt on Monday. So her arm could not have been in a sling the week before. I'm telling you what we know.
Right.
Before we get to this point, we do a lot of things.
I know.
Okay? So the week before, there's no way I would have yelled at her for having her arm in a sling, because her arm wasn't in a sling until Monday.
Okay.
And then the 13th, she came to your classroom. We know that she was on video. You went and got her from specials after you dropped your kids. You took her upstairs. Her arm was in the sling then. After you got in your classroom, we know that she was working on something in your classroom, be it a test or homework or whatever it was, she was working on something. And you went over to her and you placed your hand on her.
On the arm, yes.
No.
No.
That's not where you placed your hand.
Yes, ma'am.
Why is everything else not lining up? Why is the teacher, who is everyone's favorite, now being painted in this light?
Honestly, I don't know.
Well, you have to help me cross that bridge, because I can't go over it by myself. I don't understand. I'm not in your shoes. I'm not a teacher. I don't live the life that you live. These students are all telling me, Mr. Soto's awesome, but he does this stuff.
Right.
Why? Why would they be making this up on you? It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense whatsoever.
The only thing I can think of is maybe when I try to be cool with the kids, play around, they take whatever I say the wrong way. I don't know.
Well, what do you say that they could take the wrong way?
I don't know.
Well, help me out. It is what it is. We're sitting in this room together, and we're having this conversation. It is what it is.
But I'm telling the truth. I've had the Bible, whatever. I'm telling the truth.
Okay, I'm not worried about the Bible. Okay? I'm worried about
anything appropriate to
I'm worried about what happened between you and these kids. There is another student who came forward to us today and said that you reached around and you touched her. So why are they telling me this?
Like you said, maybe I don't know. I'm just I can't think of the word. Hypothesizing. Could be, like you said, I could be touching somebody and they turn around and then it just goes in front or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
And I can live with that, but
right.
I need you to tell me about this interaction in the classroom with
right.
Because I think that what's happening is we are so detailed up until we get in the classroom and it's, well, she did her work and then she left.
Yeah.
That's not
except
how that went.
Except for the arm.
Okay, but that's not how that went. I don't understand how someone as detail-oriented as you are could miss some certain real key points.
But I'm telling you, that time frame, it's about, I would say about 15 minutes. We came in the classroom, I told her to go over there, get your packet, I sat on my desk and I started working, and then she asked me a couple of questions, and I answered the questions, and then she started tearing up a little bit about her arm. So I said, I went over there, I sat next to her, and then before I touched her...
That's not how it happened.
Yes, ma'am.
No,
yes,
Julio, that's not what happened, and I don't want to go down this road anymore because it's not what happened.
Ma'am, I'm not, honestly,
I believe that you went over to her because she said her arm hurt.
Correct.
But what I don't believe is that you sat next to her and that's the whole interaction that you had.
And I believe what you told us is true. You remember what you told us earlier?
No.
That you couldn't do anything because you would tell the whole world.
Right, and I wouldn't... If I'm that type of person wanted to excuse my language, cock a heel or something like that or whatever, touch a student, why would I do it to a student that I know would tell everybody?
Because you've done it before and she hasn't.
And you have the capability, the opportunity, and the intent.
Right, but I'm not a predator. I'm not a stalker. Not stalker.
You disagree with my partner. You have the capability, the opportunity,
right,
and the intent.
Right.
So you
the intent,
you
not
did
intent.
Well, you just agreed with them.
You literally just met the triangle. You're in a room.
Right, but I wasn't intending to do anything.
But you're in a room.
Yes.
With a child by yourself.
Yes.
There's no other adult present.
Correct.
Nobody really knows that this child is missing from PE or they're special where they're supposed to be.
Correct.
They're in a room with you. Nobody knew this child was missing. This child returns to special before special's over, just in time to go back to the next class. No,
she was only in my classroom roughly 15 minutes. So there's still good...
15 minutes is long enough.
Time.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you folks.
If my child was gone for 15 minutes, I'll be a little worried.
Mm-hmm.
1 minute's a little too long to be with an adult, no other adults to know,
right,
and to be gone. You gotta give me something here because you're not giving me an explanation as to why this child was in that room with you for 15 minutes besides homework and you not tell anybody. I would think you would say, hey, you want to come over real quick and we can go over some lesson plans?
Right.
Hey, let me grab a couple of students who need to catch up on.
And that's what I said. I said that was my bad because I was just trying to rush and get through. I wasn't thinking.
But that's not what that happened.
What are you rushing to get through?
No, just to get through to get her work done.
Julio, I'm starting to really pull back from this idea, okay, that maybe you didn't mean for something to happen. Because nothing that you're saying is lining up with the video. Nothing that you're saying is lining up with what other students are telling me. Nothing is lining up with why her grades suddenly started to plummet. Nothing is lining up. I've been doing this for quite a while, and when the facts don't add up, there is a problem. Yeah. You're not a stupid person. You're not. You're an intelligent man, okay? I know that from talking to you. I'm not a stupid person. I'm an intelligent person. What I'm asking is for us to meet on equal ground and speak as intelligent people to each other and speak as adults to each other. And what I'm starting not to get is that you don't want to tell me either because you think you can outsmart me, which is not going to happen, or you don't want to tell me what happened because you're afraid. So which one is it?
I'm afraid no matter what, because I'm feeling I'm going to be arrested for something I didn't do, and that's what's really upset. Well,
tell me what you did do then, because I'm being told by a bunch of people what happened. So tell me what you did do so that I can close that gap.
Right, and I told you exactly what happened in that room. Exactly
no, you didn't.
Yes, ma'am.
We're missing something.
There's a piece that's missing.
And it's a big one.
You went up behind her, and you put your hand on her chest.
Why would I jeopardize my job, my license, career?
I think it was one of those things that it happened. It wasn't like it was, this huge mastermind kind of a plan. Maybe she came on to you. I don't know. I'm not in your shoes and I'm not there. Maybe she's saying stuff to you. Maybe she's commenting to you. Not at all possible?
No.
Okay. So these kids who are telling me that you're making comments about their bodies, multiple kids are lying, multiple kids are telling me that, that you've reached and you've touched them in inappropriate places. Those kids are lying. This child who says that you are her favorite teacher in the world is telling me that you have touched her, and now she is lying. So it's the world against you.
I'm just telling you what I know.
So no, but you're not.
Yes, ma'am.
I had a question.
Yes, sir.
And there are several students who tell us that you always say, hey, I'm going to try to find your tickle spot. Are they lying?
But I don't. But if I say that stuff, it's not to be inappropriate.
Okay. So when you touch or tickle your students, where do you touch or tickle them?
Like shoulder.
But the shoulder's not a tickle spot. If you poke my shoulder, I would tickle.
I'm not going to touch any place else.
Have you ever touched a student in their stomach and tried to tickle them?
In the stomach, no.
Like, how about their ribs, their rib cage?
No.
Now we're running into another problem, because the students that are saying that you have tickled them but you haven't touched them in any other inappropriate place are saying that you tickled their ribs. So
again, that could have been like what you said earlier. They could have turned. I don't know. I don't remember those particular moments. They could have turned. They could have. I don't know.
You have kids.
Yes.
How many?
3.
When you tickle a kid, do you tickle them on the shoulder?
No, I tickle on the arm.
Okay, well, why would that change when you're at school if you're trying to tickle a kid to make them laugh? Every parent knows,
right.
We don't just tickle the shoulder. You're running yourself. You're burning a candle at 2 ends.
No,
it's just burning down. I'm telling you.
You're not understanding what.
No, I am understanding. I'm understanding what I'm being told by multiple people and what my facts in my case are showing.
But I'm not doing it to hurting.
I'm not. See, now I'm starting to think that maybe you aren't who you're presenting to me. And I don't like that. It makes me extremely uneasy with you. But I don't understand, and I can't understand why this is so difficult. I'm not accusing you of doing anything to harm this girl.
Right.
I am not accusing you of any violent action. I'm simply asking you, Julio, did you touch on her chest when she was in your room?
And I said no.
Okay. I don't think that you're telling me the truth.
Why would I lie knowing I could lose my license? I could probably go to jail, hopefully not go to jail.
Keep it on.
Keep everything. I have...
Julio, can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
Just a few minutes ago, I asked you a very specific question. Julio, did you touch on her chest? And you know what you answered me?
No.
You answered me yes.
Not yet.
You just answered me yes.
I touched her arm.
And then I started talking again, and then you said no.
Yeah, I touched her arm.
What kind of... You want to tell me the truth, so tell me.
I'm telling you the truth. If I wish I could,
Wish you could what? Swear on the Bible?
Yeah, or anything.
We don't want the
I know.
room burned down. We need you to tell the truth.
Oh my gosh.
I want to know what happened in that room. If it's what perceived and what actually happened, those may be two different things.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to know why her perception is so drastically different from your story.
Mm-hmm. I can't tell you. There's nothing to tell you.
You can't tell me,
because
or
there's
you
nothing.
won't
No,
tell
there's
me,
nothing to
because
tell
those are
you.
two very
I told you
different things.
exactly what happened.
So why is everything pointing against you?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just too nice. But I don't know.
I don't know
I'm
that
not
it's
lying
that
to you
you're
folks.
too nice.
I'm not lying to you folks.
I think that you're...
I'm not a pervert. I'm not anything. I don't know.
We didn't
Because-
go into any of that.
But I feel like it because those kids, boy or girl, doesn't matter. My daughter's almost the same age, just a little bit older. I wouldn't want anybody to touch my daughter the same way too.
Sure.
I'm not trying to do anything inappropriate or to get me in trouble on purpose or anything like that.
How would you feel if somebody tickled your daughter in school?
I know.
I'm asking.
The same way.
The same way as what?
Be upset and everything.
If somebody tickled your daughter in school, you'd be upset?
Yeah.
So why do you feel like you can do it?
But I don't.
Why do you feel like you can do it?
But I don't do it to
Why do you feel like you can do it? Is the question. I'm not asking for a justification. I'm asking why do you feel like you can do it? If you would not be happy with the same behavior that you're exhibiting,
right.
Why can you do it and not other people?
But I'm not doing it to.
Well, neither are they. I'm
inappropriate.
not saying that they are either.
I told you I just made a mistake as far as being alone and not thinking. Should have brought a couple of kids up. We would not be here right now.
I also believe we would not be here right now, and we would have been done a lot sooner if we gotten the full truth.
And I agree.
I have no problem. To tell you the truth, I'm telling you exactly.
But you did. You did just a few minutes ago. I asked you if you touched her chest, and you said yes.
I don't remember that. I remember you asked me touching about her arm.
You remember in the beginning when we asked you about tickling and you just denied tickling straight out, and you finally told us you have tickled students?
But
you admitted
because the word tickling, you're going by the word tickling. I'm doing this like almost like a poking.
a tickle is
But
a tickle is a tickle.
I'm not tickling to be inappropriate to. I don't know.
If your daughter was taken into the classroom by her teacher, who's a male, with nobody else in the room, how would you feel?
I'll be upset. I will go to the principal and talk to them.
About what, though? You're doing it. Why can't they?
Oh, because I'll to find out why. Because all I was doing is trying to help. And yes, I made a bad judgment. Bring her by herself or not letting another teacher know. That's my fault. If they think, then I'm sorry. If they think I've overstepped my boundaries, I'm sorry, but that's not my intent.
What's not your intent?
To be inappropriate. I'm sorry.
What is your intent?
Just to cheer up, play around, try to be, I'm not happy. I don't like being mad all the time. I'm tired of being.
I don't want you to go down a path you can't recover from. I don't want you to throw your life away. I am trying to help
I appreciate
you.
that.
Well, but do you? With this opportunity that
Right,
I'm giving you, I'm rolling out this carpet and saying, Julio, please just be honest with me. Did you touch on the chest? And we can all be done here.
Right.
So did it happen?
No, ma'am.
I don't think that's true. And I don't understand why you're not just telling me what happened.
You're painting yourself as a monster, and it is horrible. You got a wife and 3 kids, man. A house, a family. All these people who depend on you each and every day.
So why are we going down this path? Why? What is causing us to go down this path? Be honest with me. I am almost hoping that you can recover from this tailspin that we've just entered. Because all of these other people are saying all these things about you, and I am trying very hard to follow you, and I can't, because I hear what they told me just today about you. And I don't know which Julio I'm talking to. Am I talking to Julio, who's going to be the monster?
No.
Or am I okay, so tell me then. Help me understand the Julio that made the mistake.
I wish I could. If I made a mistake, regardless of what happened,
But you made a mistake. It's not
job.
it's you did.
No, ma'am.
You did make a mistake when you commented about these girls, talked about their bodies. You did make a mistake when you reached out and you touched these students. You made a mistake. I get mistakes. I don't think you're a bad person. I don't want to think that about you.
I appreciate it.
I need you to help me, though.
If you didn't make a mistake, I don't think you would have self-reported. I honestly think you would have just continued to live your life and not told anybody. But you self-reported.
Yeah, because...
You knew you made a mistake.
No, because we were told every time something happens with the police to let us know, regardless if nothing happens.
She didn't say you did anything.
I didn't ever accuse you of offending
No, not
anybody.
you personally, but you said you talked to them, and...
Yeah, I talked to them, and they're telling me...
I'm sorry.
It's okay, that, Mr. Soto is making comments about my body. Mr. Soto is saying that I have a nice butt. More than one student said that. Not just one. And more than one student heard it. I'm not making this up. I have all of them on recording saying all these things.
Right.
So why?
And
they're not just girl students, they're boy students too.
Right.
And they don't pay as much
attention.
No, they heard you make statements. So
can
why?
I ask you this? Even if I said this, is that a...
That's not a crime.
Okay. Not that I...
So did you say it?
Maybe. I don't know. I
think you did, but it's not a crime to make a comment. It's not a crime. So did you say it?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe and I don't know are two different things. Did you say it?
I don't know.
I think you do. I think you do know.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. Detective.
It's okay.
I don't know. I could have. I don't know.
You could have.
I could have.
Okay.
I just don't know.
So how often will we make these statements?
If I do, it's blue moon.
Blue moon? Okay. So once a year, once a week, once a month, once every couple weeks?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Just whenever.
Is it only to particular students?
I don't know. Just whatever happens that day, I might try to. If they're sad or something, I might make a comment. If they're being goofy, I'll say, "Oh, you're goofy" or something like that.
Okay. So what comments would you make if they're sad? Do you ever tell girls that they're pretty?
Totally cute.
They're cute?
Yeah, like that. Like if they dress up, there's you got your hair really nice and everything, whatever. But I don't like you're beautiful and all this stuff.
No, I'm not saying that you're looking at them like swooning. Like,
yeah.
Oh, you're so beautiful. Like
no,
not
we
like
had we had picture day 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, and a couple of girls and boys don't really dress up too much. I only have one boy dressed up in those fake ties, and I had a couple of girls dressed up like, oh, you look very nice today. You look, you got a dress on, your hair's all done. You look very nice. I didn't think that was appropriate.
It's not. You look very nice.
Right.
You look cute.
But I didn't say, oh, you look hot or anything like that. I don't.
What about sexy? Have you ever described one of the girls as sexy?
No.
You ever sung a song and it had the word sexy in it at school?
No. The girl said I played a song because we had a couple of extra minutes. I played YouTube. And I said, okay, you guys play YouTube. Don't put anything that has, because it's not filtered. I said, don't put anything that there's a curse word or a bad word in it, because I'll get in trouble. And so they played a song, and it said sexy or something like that. And I was sitting at my desk, and they were all dancing, and I looked up. That's where that girl said I called her sexy. I didn't call her sexy. That the song played sexy. I looked up, and that's where, and I told my double boss. I said, that's probably where she heard it sexy, because I did not say, because I'm at my desk. And they're all in the front of the TV monitor watching the YouTube video. And then that sexy, and I caught my eye, and then they all looked at me and was like, oh, sorry, we forgot about this word. But I didn't, and then, I told Doc, just like I told she happened to be right in front of me with the other two girls, and then,
Julio, we told you we watched the cameras, right?
Right.
For that day?
For where?
For school.
Right.
On the 13th. We told you we
No, I'm
watched
talking
the
about
cameras.
different, no, I'm talking about,
No, I
that was
know,
a different
but
thing.
we told you we watched the cameras, right? So we watched all of them.
Okay.
And are you aware that there are cameras in your classroom?
Yes.
You are aware of the cameras in your classroom?
That's what I was told.
Okay. Why are the cameras showing me what you're telling me?
I don't know.
You don't
Tell
know?
me.
If the camera is in your classroom and it's showing us what she told us, how don't you know?
Why can't you explain that to me?
I don't know.
Well, help me.
Sorry, I didn't say him again.
It's okay. Help me. Why is the camera showing these things? Help me.
I don't know.
You have to know either you did it or you didn't, and the camera shows you did it. So tell me what happened, why you did it. Tell me why. I know it happened. I know it did. I watched it. Why?
Was it an accident?
I don't know. No, nothing's, I don't do anything
So
for
it wasn't an accident.
To touch her.
Yeah.
If like I said, if I touched her, that I don't recollect. If I touch her, then it's an accident.
But you just said
This
it
was
wasn't.
not an accident. It wasn't. Julio, help me. I'm trying to do the best that I can for you, and I don't know why we're holding on to this. There are cameras in the classroom, you know about them. They're showing me what happened. Tell me. Just tell me.
Was it an accident?
Just tell me. I watched it happen. Just tell me. I don't want you to be this.
But I'm going to go to jail, no matter what. You guys I know how it works.
Know what
I'm going to go to jail right after this.
I want to know what happened. And I want to know why. I don't want you to worry about any of this other caca. I want you to tell me why. Because I want to be able to articulate why. I want to be able to say, Julio's a guy that made a mistake, and maybe he needs a little help. Maybe he needs some counseling.
In jail?
Is jail counseling?
No, but
is jail therapy? Julio, tell me what happened. Just tell me. Because I just watched it. And I just want to know what happened and why it happened. Tell me. Let me help you. I've been doing this for a little while. Let me help you. I'm trying to help you.
Well, if you feel that I'm guilty, then...
I didn't say you were guilty or innocent. I'm telling you what I'm being told, what I'm seeing with my own eyes, and tell me. You're a stand-up guy. You didn't try to run from us. You didn't try to fight us. And I don't think you wanted to hurt anybody. And I've made accidents. He's made accidents. We've all been in accidents. We've all done things that are stupid. I want you to tell me.
No matter what, I'm going to lose my career. I'm probably going to go to jail after tonight.
Why are we stuck on that?
Because that's my whole future is teaching. I'm not going to be ever. I'll get fired right after this. If I go to jail tonight, I'm going to be fired.
And you don't think you can make a positive outcome from something that is negative? Like I told you, you're a smart guy. And if you allow us to help you, it doesn't have to be the end-all, be-all.
And then I'm going to have a criminal record.
Julio, people make mistakes every day.
And
if it happened, it happened. We know it happened. We watched it happen. We're not here by mistake, and we're not here by accident, and everything is in God's plan. It's by His design. We are all sinners, and we are not all perfect.
Oh, I know.
We all fall short of the glory, man.
Tell us.
Can I have my lawyer?
Okay, perfect.
I'm not saying I'm
Okay,
leaving it
no
there.
problem.
Please help me. The time I need. Please help me. Please help me.
If